Awesome. All right. So we found out that we have several people that do have their MetaTrader 4 downloaded, and they do have their broker's account established. Okay, and it's still new to some of you, and that is perfectly okay. As I stated, we will be here to provide support as much as needed. These classes will be given every Wednesday and Friday. We may open up more dates and more times. I may be able to provide some evening sessions, but I work on a rotating schedule in my secular job. So I won't be able to offer it the same day, the same time every week in the evening because I work in the evening. So it may be on a rotation, and I don't want to confuse anyone, but it will be put out there. And as we continue to develop this team to help you guys, there'll be more other people teaching and providing time for you guys to learn. All right. So I'm about to put the support email address in the chat. Please feel free to write it down. And it's going to be support at stop, S-T-O-P, playin, P-A-P-L-A-Y-I-N-N, training, TRAINING.com. All right. And that is in the chat, guys. That is for you to be able to see what we have going on, is where you will have access to, hold on, I'm getting distracted. All right, where you will have access to email your question, your issue. Hey, I just downloaded my Meta 4 and I have no idea how to set up my chart. This is where you want to send your support request. I downloaded I opened an account with my broker, but I completely don't know how to deposit the money or how to open up a demo account. Send your request to this email address here. One of our leaders will get back with you, and I believe we're going to set it up to where our schedule will already be in the email you will receive. At that time, you will click on the person's link, and you can schedule yourself. So our availability will already be there, and you will, once you click it and you put your information in, you'll be locked in with that leader at that time, and then we'll jump on Zoom, and we'll walk through what we have to walk through, okay? So for purposes of today, guys, if you do not have your broker's account and you do not have your Meta 4, that is okay, because I'm going to share my screen and you're going to be able to see. What I recommend you do is once we're done, make sure you go ahead and write that down as your homework, your to-do. Go ahead and get in position to download your Meta 4 as well as open up your brokerage account, all right? So my first stop for the day is we're going to look at the training site, because that's where you can access where our broker links are for the ones that we are familiar with. Again, you do not have to use these. You can research for yourself which ones you want to use. And also it will give you access to a couple of things I want to just share. And this is a very good training site, and it's going to continue to evolve. So make sure you're familiar with this training site, because the leaders are working very diligently to make sure that this is available to you, okay? All right, so let's switch screens here. All right, so right now, guys, you should be able to see the training website. How many of you have already been to the training website? Put a 4 in the chat if you've already visited this website or been introduced to this website before today. The StopPlaynnTraining.com. If you have already been to this site, been introduced to it, or heard about it, please drop a 4 in the chat. It's okay if you have not, but I just wanted to know to see if you guys have. Awesome. Good few of you have. Perfect. All right. So this training website has a password, okay? As I discussed on Wednesday, and I'm going to continue to repeat this, because guys, we're establishing leaders in this organization. We are leaders. We're leading the way to some great things, right? Being a part of Epic is not by chance, it's not a mishap, it's not an accident. Each one of us are here for a reason, and something got us here. Whatever that why is, we're here for it. And so we're becoming leaders of something, right? Even we're leading our ways for our families to experience financial freedom. We're leading our way to change our lifestyle. We're leading other people to share in this opportunity. But leaders are very important. Why? Because leaders beget leaders. And so one characteristic of a leader is that we follow instructions. Every leader has to follow something. And one thing to follow to make you a good leader is being able to follow instructions. One of the main instructions is that anything that we share with this group, exclusively for the Stop Playing movement group, guys, if it has a password, then it's not for everyone, okay? There's a password on it for a reason. There's a lot of content that we will be offering to the people of this group that it's a lot of content. It's very high in value. It's not something to be taken lightly that's being provided for you. And you're not having to pay a dime for it for a reason. It's because we're sharing this as a family. But trust and believe, there's certain things that we have as a family that may not be for everyone. So please handle anything that we give you with passwords with the highest confidence, okay? And don't be giving it out to everybody. If you're not sure if someone should have it, then refer them back to one of the leaders, because I would much rather that you ask than to have to make a mistake and then it brings all other kinds of situations, okay? So this website has a password. The password will be updated by the leaders of this group. It should be placed in our Telegram just so everyone can be on the same page. You can always go to that Telegram group and look it up, okay? So on the home page, there's no password required. Just real briefly, we got 2 videos that you can invite people to come and see if you're wanting to share this opportunity. You have a PowerPoint presentation and you have a video. The video really is like 3 minutes, but it's only 1 minute of audible content where someone is talking. And then you have the presentation. It should be, Marlene, hang on a second. It should be the Stop Playing Traders messages. That is where the group will give our messages. Kirk also provided the flyer in that group this morning. So check back there, and he's probably going to put it up in the announcement section so it'll be easier to access. You won't have to scroll up and down for it, but that would be where I would start for the password to be posted. All right. So again, like this homepage is where you can send people or share this homepage with people to have the presentation, as well as a video presentation, as well as a PowerPoint presentation. All right. So the next thing I want to draw your attention to is the first 48. Notice it does require the password to get to this. Guys, go through this with a fine-tooth comb if you haven't already. I'm not going to go over the step 1, 2, and 3. That will be done on Wednesdays. But to the person that inquired about which broker we recommend, and as I explicitly mentioned, we do not recommend. But on step 4 right here, I'm just going to highlight, it does give you links on how to get to the, you have a video of which account, whichever broker you choose. If you choose LQDFX, then here is where you'll watch a video on how to set up that account with LQDFX. If you choose Hugo's Way, then here in red is the link to give you a video on how to set up your Hugo's Way account. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's laid out and it's right there available for you. If you want the links to just go to either one of them, it's here, Hugo's Way, but it is hugosway.com or lqdfx.com or fxchoice.com, whichever one is your preference, okay? So this is where you definitely want to come. StopPlayingTraining.com and go to first 48. putting it in the chat in case you need to write it down for future reference. That's the training website. All right. Okay. So now what we're going to talk about are the indicators. And an indicator, guys, if this is a foreign expression to you, basically we have a chart that we are trading on the foreign exchange market. An indicator is something, and there's several of them, thousands of them, okay? But an indicator is what traders use to help us kind of assess, do a market analysis of what's going on with price action. It gives us some cues, it gives us some ideas about where price is potentially going from where it is now. So indicators are very helpful. There are indicators that you can purchase, and then there's some that are for free, and then there's some that comes automatically installed with your MetaTrader 4. But an indicator basically indicates to us the potential movement of price. When we get on these charts here in a few minutes, you will understand what an indicator is. The reason why I'm showing you where to go first before I open up the chart is because it will be difficult to see what's going on. Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. What is the password? I would love to follow you. Okay, the password, I'm gonna have to look it up myself. I had to save it because it was not, they made it a little complex. So hang on, let me get it. All right, the password is StopPlayinn with 2 N's epic, but the, let me do it. It's some capital letters. Hang on, guys. Capital letter STOP, no spaces. Capital letter P, lowercase LAYINN, capital letter E, PIC. All right, let me put that. This is the password. All right. So guys, I'm going to pause so that you guys can catch up to where I am. Once you get onto the first, let's not do first 48. Once you guys get to the indicators, those of you that want to follow, put a 5 in the chat for me so I know when to move forward. I do not want to move ahead if you guys are trying to log on and get situated. All right, Marlene is with me. Cool beans. Anybody else want to follow along and is logging in, please put a 5 in the chat once you are there. Awesome. Thank you, Jeannie. And guys, forgive me if I sound a little hoarse. I just pulled a 13-hour shift last night. I have not slept yet, but I'm so energized to be here with you guys. And so it's all good. But if I sound a little hoarse, that's the reason why. All right. Thank you, Matthew. Awesome. All right. So I got 3 people so far who have been able to log in. Cool. The rest of you guys, you are welcome to watch as I navigate through the website. Okay. So down here in the first 40, excuse me, in the indicators tab, here you see some lime green rectangular shape. These are downloadable, okay? These are the indicators, all right? You got Cynthia's daily range, C time, MTF trend bar, symbol changer, supply demand, trading volume, bank levels, spread, and then X 2014 pips V2. This is your pip counter. I love the pip counter because it lets me know where my pips are at while I'm actually in the chart, which I'm about to show you. All right. So this is where you could come, and Kirk did place a video here on how to install the indicator. I'm about to do the very same thing that this video has. It's about a minute long, a little over a minute, but the reason why we have this class is because sometimes you can watch a video, but sometimes you may have a real time question that the video may not answer, okay? But you can always come back and look at these videos that we're going to have readily available for you guys, all right? So in the meantime, what I am going to do, I'm going to download the indicator. Notice when I hover over the rectangular shape, it changes to a black color. That's how you know which one you're about to download, okay? All I did was click on it, and you see down here, it's letting me know it's downloaded. Now, sometimes people's computers have a default to where your downloads are stored. Windows is something I am familiar with. Apple, Mac, I am not. So, Windows typically has a download folder that comes with the computer, and most times downloads go in there. I manipulate my downloads to be saved to my desktop because I hate having to go search for a file I downloaded, okay? However, wherever your file goes to automatically download, that's where it is. Now, I use Chrome, and notice here at the bottom of my window, the indicator shows me where it is. To the right, it says show all. If I click that show all, it will open up whatever folder my downloads are going to. So if you're not tech savvy or you're not familiar with all of what I'm saying, and your computer looks like this, your screen looks like this after you've clicked one of these indicators, go ahead and click show all so it can open up where it is already. Notice at the top for me, it says Chrome download. So it's going straight into my downloads folder. More than likely, if you haven't changed your settings, that's the same thing that's going to happen with yours. So once you download it, it's frustrating if you can't go back and find what you downloaded, okay? So I always click on show all, and this allows me to just go straight to the folder when I'm ready to use it, okay? So going back to our training website, I did download Cynthia's Daily Range. You guys saw it in my download folder. Now what I need to do is go to my Meta-4, okay? My MetaTrader 4. So I'm going to open up my LQDFX MetaTrader 4. And let me just give this disclaimer. It doesn't matter which broker you get your MetaTrader 4 from, because you will be able to do the same thing. Each broker offers the MetaTrader 4, but they're all pretty much the same. It's not a difference between the brokers. It's just they offer it as a courtesy since you're choosing them to be your broker, okay? Now, you will see the LQDFX symbol on that particular metaphor or the FX choice or Hugo's Way or whatever broker, but the platform itself for metaphor is identical, the same functionality between the 2 or 3 of them. The reason why I have FX choice metaphor downloaded, LQDFX metaphor, and Hugo's Way, and because I have an account with all 3, but sometimes I like to trade simultaneously between my 2 accounts. As I mentioned earlier, each broker has different ways that they conduct business. And so I can open up one account with LQDFX. I can pull open my Hugo's Way account through this LQDFX metaphor. I can pull open my FX choice account because all I have to do is indicate where I want to log into an existing account, use my account number and the password, and it'll pull it right in. But I cannot open up Hugo's Way and FX choice and LQDFX all on one platform. So I use all 3 different platforms in order for me to be able to trade on all 3 platforms simultaneously. Sometimes I use one with my demo account, and then I have my live account. And if I'm trying a new strategy, I'll try it on my demo account first to see how it's going to work, okay? And once I see if that strategy, after trial and error, see that if it's conducive, if it's working, then I'll apply that strategy to my live account. Marlene, does it turn to a white screen? Because if so, it kind of looks weird. Let me pull mine up. The question asks is that when she clicked on first 48, nothing happened. When I click on first 48, Notice that my screen is white, but in a gray shaded area, it says continue to site. And in a very light gray, it says page password. If you click on that line, it will prompt you with a cursor where you can type in the password. What browser are you using? Are you on your phone or are you on a computer? Microsoft Edge. All right, let's see what Microsoft Edge is doing. All right, I tried my Microsoft Edge and it is giving me the prompt. It's giving me the prompt on my Microsoft Edge, so I don't know why it's not working on yours. This is Microsoft Edge. If you can see on the screen now, I shared my entire screen. This is Microsoft Edge and this is Chrome, and both are giving me the same type of prompt, like this. So Marlene, if it's not working, then definitely submit a ticket to the email address. And okay, cool. But if it doesn't work, we'll definitely, I may have to get on there one-on-one with you so you can share your screen with me. And I can see if it's a settings thing or something along those lines, okay? But I will be sharing my screen so you guys can at least see what I'm doing in the meantime. All right, close that out. All right, so, all right, so now we downloaded the indicator. I'm pulling up my MetaTrader 4. Close that for a minute. All right, guys, so you guys should be able to see my MetaTrader 4 on the screen. All right. Let me put a different template on, something that's plain. Nope, that's not okay. So this is basically a plain chart. Now, if you just downloaded Metaphor, your chart will not look like this. More than likely, it will have a white background with green and white lines, but you can change your color by right-clicking on your chart, go into properties, and here, all of these settings, these colors that you see on these tabs, is how you manipulate what your chart will look like, okay? Um, Typically, most people use blue or green for an uptrend, a buy sell, or what we call a bullish candle. That means the market is going upwards, okay? It's going into a buy. It's either blue or green. Typically, to reflect a sale or a downtrend, you're going to see red. All right. So notice my chart right now has green and blue candles. These little vertical lines are candles. Okay. Um, without going into detail about what candles are, on our Epic site, Epic University, they have the candle Bible. Guys, download it. That is a very valuable tool for any trader. It will break down what a candle is, what the different shapes of candles mean. It's in itself training you to use the candles as an indicator of where price is going. Okay, so because we're not talking about strategy, I'm not really going over all of the intricate details about candles and what you see here. But the red candles mean that I'm in the 1 hour time frame now. Each one of these candles took 1 hour to form. Okay? Each one took an hour to form. I'm zooming in. So this candle took 1 hour. This candle took 1 hour. This candle took 1 hour. This is a candle. It doesn't look like much, but it's going back and forth between red and blue. But notice this 19, this counter here. It's letting me know that it's 18 more minutes before this candle finished doing what it's doing. Okay, and so we know that this is red. So this tells us that this candle started out, it opened here and it went downward, and because it's red, it went down into a cell and it closed here. Because this candle is blue, it lets me know that it opened down here and the move went upward within an hour, and then it closed right here. The reason why I'm letting you know that, guys, because when you set up your charts, make sure your colors differentiate between what is bullish and what is bearish. When I right click on the screen and go to properties, notice here it has bar up. That's letting you know that what color do you want your upward trend candles to reflect. All right, what do you want it to be? You can have it green, blue, pink, purple, whatever color you want. But just know that whatever that color is you select from this color palette, that's going to indicate your upward trend candle, your buy candle. Then here you got your bull candle. That's the filling part in the middle. So if I was to make that blank, if I click none, I'm going to click OK. Notice now I just have an outline of the candle, right? Take notice of the red one, it's filled in. So I'm going to go back to properties because the bull candle does not have a color in there. That's why it's looking hollow. Most people want to have that filled. So whatever color your bar up, the outline is going to be, you want to match it with the same color of your bull candle. So guys, write this down. Bull, B-U-L-L, a bull candle means a buy, B-U-Y. A bull candle, a bullish candle, means a buy. If you hear a trader says the market is bullish, it's letting you know that the market is in a buy trend. So ideally, if you're going to make a trade, take a trade, you're going to go in for a buy. All right, write that down. If you hear the term bear, just like the animal, a bearish candle is a sell, S-E-L-L. So whatever color your bar down is going to be, because sell is downward, then your bear candle needs to match that color. Typically, it's almost universal that the bearish candles are red on most charts. The bullish candles can tend to be different colors between green and blue. All right, but that's a matter of preference. If you choose purple and pink, as long as you know which one is the bullish candle compared to the bearish candle, you are free to put whatever color you prefer. All right, but because we will probably be experiencing some live trading with some of the leaders, in both the corporate as well as the Stop Playing movement. You definitely want to try to make your chart look like what you are following, if that makes sense. But again, it's a matter of preference, all right? Let me pause and see if there's any questions. Yes, I am going to be recording this, Marlene, and I will get it to Kirk, and he will put it on the training site. So, guys, if any of you need to go, by all means, feel free. We're going to have this available, and if all else, I'll be back next Friday. You're welcome to come and join me anytime, okay? All right, so without further ado, now that we've established what we're looking at, I want to try to get you guys to see how to download. I showed you how to download the indicator. Now we want to place it inside of this Metaphor platform. And then we're going to activate it. Okay? Excuse me. As I told you, there are some indicators that come as a default with your Metaphor. They're free. They come with it. They're basic indicators that is available. All right? You have these little icons up here. These icons are different things that help you throughout the course of your trading, learning your trading, all right? The one I want to draw your attention to is this star, this gold star and folder or file looking icon. When you hover over it, it says Navigator. A keyboard shortcut is Control N as in Nancy, okay? Now this is my indicator list. I have a lot of indicators because I've been trading for a while. When you first start out, you're more than likely only going to have this indicator here, and you'll have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe, top ones, okay? You'll have this couple of trend indicators that come with your Metaphor, a couple of oscillators, volumes, Bill Williams indicators. I don't know if the downloads, it might be. I don't know if I created that. And then they have some examples, which is a sample pattern. More than likely, the one that you will probably start out getting familiar with is right under the Trends tab, and it's called the moving average. You will hear that a lot in our live trading sessions, all right? So if I wanted to put the moving average onto my particular chart that you see here, I can do it one or two ways. I can double click, and here it opens up a command window that in case I want to change the default setting. So different strategies will call for the moving average to have different settings. Notice the period here is 10. I can put whatever number is in there based on whatever strategy we're going to use. You can change the MA method, the moving average method. You can apply it to the close or the open or the high. And when we give the strategies that we will be using this indicator on, we will give you the settings so you'll know what to set it on. Okay, again, you have a color choice here of red or whatever color you want to set it to be. Here you have the option to make it a perforated dotted line, a straight line, and here you can determine if you select straight line, then you can determine the thickness of the line that you want, okay? Once you have been satisfied that your settings are how you want it for this particular moving average, you click OK, and you guys notice the red line that's showing up that wasn't there before. That's an indicator, all right? That's an indicator. And sometimes you'll hear the traders who are doing live sessions, they'll say, yeah, I got my candles are above the 10. They'll use that abbreviation, but they're talking about the 10 moving average. Because remember, I set this to be 10, right? So if the banks use a 50 moving average, so notice that the line changed based off that setting that I changed. But this is the indicator that you get with the Metaphor, all right? This is the line that the banks use to determine a lot of information about how they move money. They use a 50 moving average, okay? But again, you will learn all of that based on the strategies that we teach. Don't wrap your brain around it too much. I'm more concerned that you now know how to add an indicator onto your chart. Now, let's say you get here and you no longer want it. There's one or two ways you can remove it. You could hover near it and double click it to alter or change your setting, okay? If you want to get rid of it, you can right click on your chart, and notice here it has indicator list. If you select indicator list, this gives you a list of every indicator that you have actively placed on your chart. See, the moving average is the one I just added. I clicked it one time and I'm gonna select delete and close, and now the line is gone. If I decide I want to add it again, I come over here to my indicator panel, double click, and there it is, it's opened again. If I don't want to change any of the settings, I click OK and it's back. I decide I want to take it off, I right click, go to indicator list, look for the type of indicator I want to remove, highlight it by left clicking on it one time, and click delete and close. All right, I'm pausing for question, guys. It should be on our training website, the one that you weren't able to get on, but I will get with you hopefully later today or sometime when you set your appointment to get you on the training site. If not, I will upload it to YouTube as well, and I will send you a link in Telegram so that you can access it through the YouTube. So until you can get your access to the training site. All right. Not a problem. I'm glad to be able to help, Marlene. Okay, Annie Hatch, a very good question. Does this replace the Epic University? No, ma'am. Okay. And so I'm going to give it to you this way that will help those of you understand what we're doing. It's Epic University is the university. But some of you may be in school or was in school at some point. You guys remember when you kind of had to have a study group, a group you guys got together and studied with each other. There was no teacher there particularly. Nobody was replacing the class itself that you was enrolled in, but we got together to go over the material to study in between classes. That's what Stop Playing Movement is providing for everyone with this. This is an opportunity for us to get together in between what Epic University is going to teach us so that we can learn at a slower pace, because they're going to have thousands of people on the calls when they go live, okay? When they do live sessions, it's over 20,000 people in this organization already. And it's probably more than that. That was over 5-6 days ago. So there's going to be thousands of people on this call, but they're going to do live sessions and they're going to give the information, and the teachers at the Epic University are already experienced traders. They're going to give some great information. Well, then we're going to commune together and take it at a slower pace, because if you're just coming in, they may not be able to individualize and go at the pace that I'm going right now to break down how to even put an indicator on your chart. So that's what this is. It's more like a study group. You know, that's how I like to reference it in my mind. All right. Good question. All right. So I did download the Cynthia's Daily Range. Okay. So let's try to install Cynthia's Daily Range. When you need to install an indicator, you got to go to up here in the left corner to File. And you guys, if you want to write this down, it would be helpful. You go to File. The next thing you do is come down and go to Open Data Folder. Left click it one time, and it's going to open up your folder, right? Here you will click on, well, I'm gonna point out some different things. You got MQL4, profiles, and template. You want to focus for indicator purposes on the MQL4 folder. You want to double click that with the left mouse button 2 times, double click, and then it opens up. Clearly you guys can see the indicators right here. You want to double click it. Now, because I already have several indicators, I'm still going to show you how I add the indicator that I told you I downloaded. Let's close this. I'm going to minimize my metaphor. And now I'm going to open up my folder that has the indicator that I downloaded. I can drag and drop it. Show in folder. I've skipped that step. Click on show in folder so it can show it not in the browser, but in your actual computer folder. All right, cool. Notice here it's highlighted. This is where it downloaded. I'm going to left click. This is my MetaTrader 4 indicator folder. I'm going to left click the indicator, drag it over, and once I'm hovering over my MetaTrader folder, I'm going to release the left mouse button, and it's going to place it in there. I already have this in here, so it's asking me if I want to, replace it, but I don't. If you don't have it in there, it's just going to drop in there, and you will notice that it's in your folder. All right. Now I gotta find it. I probably should have replaced it. I got 50,000,011 indicators. There it is. All right. Cynthia's daily range. So now that I've verified that it's in my folder, I don't have any other indicators that I want to put in this folder, I'm going to close it out. Now I go back to my MetaTrader 4 platform, and I'm going to hover my mouse over this panel here, and I'm going to right click and click refresh. Once I do that, anything that I've transferred to that folder will now appear in this line, in this panel. All right. So I'm going to look for what I just downloaded, which is Cynthia's daily range, and here it is. Just like we did with the moving average, all you have to do is double click it. It's going to open up a dialog window to see if there's any of the inputs that you want to change. Typically, you won't have to do a lot of changing in them, but every now and then the leaders may tell you change this particular setting to this number. All right. But 90% of the time, you're going to use the indicators as is. So you won't have to do a whole lot of changing the settings. I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed with that. All right. So once I'm satisfied, this is the right indicator, I'm ready to roll, I'm going to click OK. And here is the Cynthia's daily range. The ADR is your average daily range. So in the last 10 days, this was what my average daily was of 67 points. Today, it already moved 47 pips. So that's how you add an indicator, all right? I'm going to pause for questions. Does anybody need me to go over that again? Does anybody need me to go over how to download the indicator from the training website, how to get it into the MetaTrader folder, indicators folder? All right, Annie says yes. Anyone else need me to go over that one more time? I'll be glad to. That's what we're here to do. All right, one yes means a yes for everyone to me. Okay, so, and I know I'm flipping through several windows, so guys, it is imperative that you take notes. All right, Beverly says she's confused. Okay, cool beans. Not a problem. So let me see how I can simplify this. Beverly and Annie, do you guys have a notepad that you're writing down with right now? If not, I want you to get something to write on, because I'm going to give you the steps where you can write it down. Then you can follow me visually as I do it. Cool. All right. So Title this page Indicators. Indicators. All right. Step 1, go to www.StopPlaynnToEndsTraining.com. All right. That's step 1. That gets you to the website. Step 2 is click on the tab that says Indicators. And enter the password. Step 3, click on the indicator you wish to download. If it's all of them, download all of them. That's fine. Sometimes people just want 1 or 2. They're all up there, but you may not need all of them at once, okay? They all serve different purposes. So, okay. So that's step 3. Once you download the indicator, it's going to go into a file, into more than likely your downloads folder on your computer. So step 4 would be, after you've downloaded all that you want to download, you can minimize your browser. Don't close it, just minimize it. And look for your downloaded, I can't spell this morning, downloaded indicators. Could be your download folder or desktop. So now you're physically going to have to search your own personal computer to look for where your downloads are going. 9 times out of 10, if you haven't altered your settings, it's going to go into the manufacturer made download folder that every Windows computer comes with. If you don't know how to locate your downloads folder, you can start by doing this. Go to the start window, guys. Look at my computer. I have Windows 10. I don't know what version of Windows you have, but every computer has this search feature. If you don't know where your downloads folder is, you can start typing download, and it might pull up different things. But with Windows 10, it pulls up internet stuff, but you can search for your download folder inside of your search window, and it will help you find it. Another way to look for it is to go to your start button, and here on the side you got documents, you got pictures. Sometimes they'll have it on the sidebar where you can search for it. But if you click on the folder, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be on the side panel here. Notice here underneath documents is downloads. When I click that, it will open up everything that I have downloaded on my computer. All right. So you're going to have to research where your downloads are going to, because I won't be able to know that. Once you know where your stuff is going to, you're halfway through the battle. All right. So once you've established where your stuff is being downloaded to, your next step is step 5. Open your MetaTrader. I'm abbreviated as Meta 4. That's what your MetaTrader 4 stands for, Meta 4. Open your Meta 4 platform. This is what you downloaded on your computer. This is not going to the broker. You're not using the browser. You're not going to www.anything. You have downloaded the Meta 4 onto your computer, and now you're going to click on that icon so that you can activate that application called the Meta 4. Okay? Once you have that open, you're going to see your chart. You're going to see where I was showing you about candles. That's how you know you're in your Meta 4 and not on your broker's website. I'm typing it in here so you guys can go back and write it down as I finish, as I'm talking. In case I go over it a little too fast, you can go ahead and look at the steps. All right. Now that you have your MetaTrader 4 open, step 6 is to go to File. Click it. Click File. And that's going to be in the upper right, upper left corner of your Meta 4. And guys, if you're seeing my screen right now, my mouse is hovering over the file, and it should show up in blue. When I click on it one time, a menu drops down. Step 7, I'm up to step 7. Step 7 is to go to, click on Open Data Folder. When you click on Open Data Folder, it's going to open up your folder for your Meta 4 files. Once you have, as you can see on the screen here, this is the Meta 4 folder that opened up once I clicked on Open Data Folder. Step 8 you will click on MQL4 folder. You probably will have to double click at this point. When I double click, it opened up another window with some more folders. So step 9 is click on, double click indicators. When you double click on indicators, whatever indicators that came with the Meta 4 download will be in there. You will not have as many as I have, Do not let how many I have in there distract you. Okay? Once you have this window open, here is where I think I may have lost some of you. Now you're going to have to go back to your downloads folder that you located back in step 4. That folder should be open because we went in step 4 to look for our downloaded indicators. We opened up that folder. We left that folder open at step 4. I did not specifically write that there. But when you locate that folder on your computer, that's already on your computer that has your downloads in it, leave it open. Now you have a second folder open called your indicators. That is your MetaTrader 4 folder, right? What has to happen at this point is the downloaded indicators in the folder that was open at step 4 now has to be transferred to the indicators folder that is open in step 9. You can drag and drop. You can right-click copy, then go to your indicators folder and right-click and paste. But whichever method you use, those files in your step 4 folder has to be transferred to your step 9 folder. All right? And that's how I'm going to type it. That's step 10. All right? Once you do that, once all of your files is transferred over to your step 9 folder, which is called the indicator folder, all right, great. You can now close the indicators folder. You don't have to, but you can, all right? But if you don't, I'm going to go to what the next step is, which is step 11. Step 11 is you're going to go to your Meta 4. And click on, let me see, what's another way you can do this? I don't know what to call this icon. Can you guys see this little icon that I'm hovering over? It's a gold star and a file. I hope you guys can see it because that's exactly what I'm going to call this icon. A gold star and a file, or yellow star and a file. I'll also type in what the shortcut is, which is control on your keyboard, control, hold down control and hit the letter N, and it'll pop up just the same, okay?
It's the navigator.
Click on the icon, gold.
Sybil, that's the navigator button. It opens up the navigator window.
Folder icon, menu bar, or type.
Can you hear me, Sybil?
Control. Capitalize that. And the letter N. Open the indicator. And you will see this panel right here. I'm going to expand it a little bit. This is your indicator panel. Okay. All of these little yellow signs with the, looks like a F on it. Those are your indicators. Whatever one you have in here, if you double click any of them, it will automatically go open up the window for you to alternate the settings and click OK, and then it activates on your chart. Whichever indicator, yes, that's the navigator, Kirk. Thank you. How you doing, Kirk? Guys, thank you. Kirk is on the line with us.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was on here.
Can you hear me?
So whichever indicator that you do transfer to the folder, when we talked about going from step 4 to step 9, you're going to have to activate this navigator, right click and click refresh so it can show up in this list. If you don't click refresh, you're not going to see the indicator. You're going to be sending us a support email talking about my indicators are not there. So step 12, right click in the navigator panel and left click on refresh. Once you do that, it will refresh your list of indicators, and everything that you have transferred to your indicator folder will now show up in your navigator panel. Okay? Once it's in your navigator panel, you are pretty much close to the home run, because the only thing left for you to do is to locate the indicator that you transferred to this folder, and you're going to double click on that indicator. And when you double click that indicator, it's going to pop up a window like this. Again, if we don't tell you to change any of the settings, leave them as is. Click OK, and your indicator will show up inside of your chart. So step 13 will be to double click on the indicator. I'm going to put S because you may have more than one. OK on the window that will open. Indicator then be active on your chart. So in 13 steps, step by step, you just learn how to go to the training website, locate your indicators, download it onto your computer, transfer that download into your Meta-4 indicator folder, refresh your get to your navigator panel, refresh it, and now double click it so you can activate it on your chart. Okay? That will work for any indicator that the leaders of this group provide to you. And also, as I mentioned earlier, you have indicators that automatically come pre-installed with your Meta-4. This is how you activate it. If it's not pre-installed on your Meta-4, then we're taking extra steps to get the indicators in there and then activating it on the charts, okay? So make sure you've written this down, guys. It's very, very important that you understand these steps. You don't want to skip a step. if you're just starting out doing this. Take your time and do the steps that I've typed in the chat for you. Write them down. It's going to be important. So when you go back and look at Kirk's video on the website, or you come back with us next Friday, you will already be acclimated when I say the navigator panel. What is that? Your indicator folder in Metaphor. What is that? You'll be a little more familiar with it, okay? And there will be more of a refresher for you than it being a brand new class to you, okay? All right. Any questions so far? Please feel free to type in the chat at this time if you have any questions about anything we went over so far. All right, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm assuming everybody is all right. All right. All right. Kirk, is there anything you would like to add since you are with us this morning? Is there anything you would like to add so far of what I went over? Anything you want me to touch on?
Can you hear me, Sybil? Hello? I don't understand. Can you hear me? Sybil, can you hear me, Sybil?
All right.
Hello? Sybil.
Okay, so.
I guess she can't hear me.
I don't hear Kirk. Do you guys hear Kirk? Because I don't. Let me make sure
Can anybody else hear me?
he's able to unmute himself.
I can hear Kirk.
Put one in the chat box. If anybody can hear me, put a one in the chat box.
No,
Sybil, don't tell me your speakers were turned off.
man, just as sure as it was, as I don't know, I'm just a yapping away. I apologize. I can hear you.
I've been calling you, saying stuff. I'm like, well, I know my volume is really low. But you know what? I've done that through a whole presentation a few times.
Oh my goodness, I apologize.
Your speakers are turned off. Yeah, but no, I think you did an outstanding job. With this, everybody needs to, and I hope you were recording this because everybody needs to understand how to get their chart set up. Everyone, I want everybody to understand that our main focus is trading here with Epic Trading. We stress the comp plan because we're at the beginning of the company right now, and we're going to build residual income. But we don't lose focus that we came to trade. And so Sybil was showing you how to get your account set up. If you don't have your demo account and your chart set up by now, then you're really behind the 8 ball because we launched October 1st, and the company is already calling out live signals. You're already losing money daily right now if you're not taking these signals. I have taken the signals from Mr. Jonathan, what's his last name? Jonathan, I forgot his last name now, in the Telegram group. I've taken 8 of his signals, and all 8 of them profited. We're in one right now. So if you don't have your accounts and trading accounts set up right now, you really need to get with us and get everything set up. We just established a support hotline. I don't know if Sybil, if you put the support hotline out, email address out.
I did.
Okay. Well, Sybil's going to give y'all the support email address, and the support email address is our team support, y'all. This is not corporate one. This is just for our team. So if you have comments or questions on how to do something, Sybil has a email address with calendars with her and Mr. Christopher Dodds, another one of our educators, calendars on that you can set up, email them, and pick a time and date that you can get on as a private Zoom with one of us to get your stuff set up. But we really need everybody to get set up now and let's start trading, because that is what's going to, to attract new people to your business, is you growing your account every single day. And you showing people how to do that. So, Sybil, if you could give them that email address, and everything.
I did. I went over that in the very beginning because I wanted them to have it so that, because there were some people that had not yet set up their account, the broker's account. And so I went over that they can utilize that tool that you guys are putting in place for us, which is awesome.
Absolutely. everyone, do me a favor. If you have not gotten your demo account and your live account set up, put a 5 in the chat box right now. If you have not gotten your demo account and your live account set up with one of the brokers, put a 5 in the chat box. And if Sybil, if you could, I'm out right now. I'm not in place where I can write anything down. But if you could take a note of that, Sybil, and have those people email, the support so we can get them set up. And then everybody, if you have partners that you have brought on, please have them do the exact same thing. Have them email support if they cannot go. But first, we want everybody to go to the training website. That is the first thing, y'all.
Right.
Everybody make sure to go to the StopPlayinn training website, the one Sybil shows you, because that website should be able to walk you through the majority of the process. We want everybody to, try to do for themselves. We're here to help, but it's better if we can establish a culture of repetitiveness. If we can set up something, make it you bring somebody on, you send them to the website, you don't have to worry about them. They're set up, that's what's going to make it so much easier. We don't want to have to hold everybody's hands on every single step. That would slow things down. But if you can bring somebody on board, and the first thing you do is direct them to our team website, that will get them that will give them the ability to get their accounts and everything set up, their charts set up. Sometime today, I'm going to be uploading to the website a couple of strategy charts that you can just download and go directly to your computer, and you have a strategy there. One of them is called a 10-50 EMA strategy, where I think she shows you the 10 EMA and the 50 EMA on one of the charts. I'm going to show you that. So everybody, that's the first thing, is go to that website, get everything. But if you do not have your accounts set up yet, please put a 5 in the chat box. And Sybil, if you could, make a note of that, and have those people email the support hotline, the support email address. I keep saying hotline, the support email address, and let's get you set up quickly, because over the weekend, y'all, everybody should be set up and ready to go by Monday. The markets open up Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, but we kind of don't normally trade on Sundays. Let the market settle down from the weekend, the gaps and everything, and let's be ready to trade Monday. Okay, so Sybil, again, I want to thank you, and thank you for letting me speak at the end here. And you did an outstanding job as usual, and we just want to thank you for everything you do.
My pleasure, guys. I only see 2 people put a 5 in the chat, and we have 16 people on this call, which is outstanding. So that means 14 people have their account set up, or you're not able to respond on the chat, which is understandable. If not, but it is imperative that we let you understand the importance that you let us know what you need. Please do not get in a place that you are not where you need to be and you haven't told anyone what you need, because we cannot read minds, and it's definitely not something we expect you to do on your own. And we're definitely making a lot of resources available to you guys so that we can help. Okay. Awesome, Annie. Wonderful. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go over 1 or 2 things just to show you how to take a trade, how to actually take a trade. All right, Beverly, I got you. Definitely, Beverly, send an email to that email address in the chat that I placed so that you can have a one-on-one with someone that can actually break it down to you a little easier. It can be overwhelming when it's just all thrown out at you, okay? But I'll put it to you like this. It's kind of like having, I don't know if you're a meat eater or not, but I don't eat beef anymore. But when I did, I used to love a really good ribeye steak. And you got this big ribeye steak sitting on your plate, and it's tender, it's well done, just the way you like it, seasoned, but you can't swallow the whole thing in one bite. You got to get you a fork and knife, and you got to break it down so that you can digest it properly, okay? So right now you're looking at a big steak, and you're wondering how you're going to get it all down in one bite. Well, we're going to help you. We're the knives and the forks, okay? Iron sharpens iron. We're going to definitely help you break it down. So don't get overwhelmed. It seems like you're somewhere, you don't know where you're going, but I promise you, we got the resources for you. We're putting it out there for you because we're going to be willing to help you, all right? So we're going to break down that steak for you because we're going to definitely make sure you're going to eat, okay? So definitely send an email out to that support at StopPlaynnTraining.com, support at StopPlaynnTraining.com, and we will get the email instantly. You should receive a responsive email letting you click on a link so you can set a time that you will be allowed to sit down with one of us that will help you. Okay, so definitely utilize that tool, guys. That's what it's there for. All right. Um, so for those of you who may feel overwhelmed, trust me, we're gonna break this thing down for you, and we're gonna be well ready and prepared to start taking these trades. Okay. So very quickly, guys, you guys are looking at my screen. I'm not expecting you to follow me because you may not have your account set up. So I just want to show you the ways that you can take a trade, because for those that may have their account set up, are receiving the signals, guess what? This is how you need to know how to take a trade, open a trade and close a trade. There are two ways that you can do a trade. Well, it's more than two ways, but you can, there's a shortcut way that we use, but I'm not going to show you that for today. I'm going to show you the long way. Up here, I clicked on new order. Notice that this order window opened. The volume, well, we'll start here. The symbol, this is the type of currency I'm going to take the trade on. So you may see a signal being called for EUR USD, the Euro USD, Euro versus US dollar. You want to find that currency pair and make sure that that is under the symbol or the pair that you're taking the trade. Okay, your lot size is going to be determined by your account size. All right, now we all may not know this immediately out the bank, but if you're starting out with at least $100 account and it's your live account or a demo account, if your account is at least $100, your lot size should be somewhere around 0.01, excuse me, 0.01. That is equivalent to 10 cents a pip. Now that might not sound like much. And you may want to make $100 off of your $100 in the next trade you take. And in a perfect world, that may work, but you don't want to risk your whole $100 in one pip, because as you can see how this is bouncing up and down, that's price action. It's going up and it's going down. It's going up and it's going down. And as a new trader, I'm telling you right now, your lot size is not where it's supposed to be, and you over leverage, what we call over leveraging your account. You are going to stroke out, God forbid, because your heart can't take it. I'm telling you. All right. So when we tell you what your lot size we recommend, it's up to you how you want to utilize what we give you. But you want to start out with a small lot size, starting out, and watch how market moves and how it fluctuates. And then you can determine how you want to grow your account. All right. Do you want to be an aggressive trader or more moderate or conservative? Okay. But we're going to teach you the best to our ability how to win more than you lose. But if your lot size isn't what we recommend, okay, then you're going to take that risk on yourself. Please do not come to us and say, y'all made me lose my money, because we're not going to teach you to lose. We're going to try our best to teach you how to win. All right. So even though to the US dollar eye, this may look like 1 cent, but it's actually 10 cents. All right. If I go 0.10, to us, it looks like 10 cents. No, that's a dollar. 1.00 is $10. So you're basically just going to add a zero behind that one or whatever number you have there to let you know what it is almost equivalent to in the US dollar. All right. So that's where some new traders get tripped up. They think, oh, it's just a penny. Well, no, it's actually 10 cents to the dollar. And they might think, oh, it's just 10 cents. No, you're gambling away $1 per pip. And if something goes the wrong way and you go down 50 pips in like 3 seconds, you just lost $50. And that's a hurtful feeling when you ain't got but so much in your account, okay? But 50-cent loss might not affect you as much. So when we say lot sizes, that's what it's referencing to on this chart, is the volume, all right? Notice here you got your stop loss and your take profit. Most signals that are sent out will have stop loss is either going to be spelled out, or it's going to have an S and an L, and then it's going to have a T and a P for take profit. You may see TP1, TP2, and TP3. What that means is your take profit that based off the indicators, based off market analysis, based off that trader's analysis of the price action that's going on at that time, they potentially see the market or price moving in that direction, whether it's in a buy trade or a sell trade, okay? So you want to take that profit. They're going to give you 3 levels of where you can take your profit. Take profit means when you hit that level, you potentially close your trade because you've reached where your goal was. You didn't leave any money on the table. You're going to take that profit and close your trade. All right. So a take profit is always going to be, if you're in a buy, it's going to be above where you bought, where you entered that trade at. It's going to be higher than, because you're aspiring to go up and meeting that amount. If you're in a sell trade, then your take profit is going to be below it because you want price to sell so that you can meet that take profit level. All right. Don't get wrapped up in what I'm saying if it's going over your head. I'm just trying to familiarize you. When you see a signal given, you're going to see TP, SL. That's what those terminologies mean, okay? So if you see SL in a certain number and it says 1 point such and such and such and such, that means your stop loss should have those numbers in it. Here is how you set it in there. You can type it in, whatever it is that they give you, or you can copy and paste it. All right. If they tell you your take profit is this number, that's the number you need to have in that section. If you see take profit 1, 2, 3, or TP 1, 2, or 3, well, once you have take profit set and it reaches that number, it's going to close your trade out. If you have TP1 number in there, then once you hit take profit level 1, it's going to close your account. You will not go to take profit 2, and you definitely won't make it to take profit 3. Now, the likelihood decreases the higher the take profit number. You will never see a trader give you more than a take profit 3. If somebody gives you take profit 79, you need to stop messing with them. All right? But the take profit 3 is a little more risky. So as a new trader, we encourage people to aspire to try to reach the take profit 1. Do not get your greedy side and want to get to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because there's no such thing. All right. Your chances decrease because market is sometimes very unpredictable. All right. So those are where your terminologies is. Notice here it says market execution. So when your signal is sent and it says take a buy for Euro USD, stop loss is this, take profit is that, and market execution, that means when that signal comes out, if it says buy, you're going to click buy. If it says sell, you're going to click sell. But the key to remember is they want you, and market execution means you're doing the action right then. So if they send you a signal at 10:38 in the morning, do not get that signal at 2 p.m. and be like, oh, let me get in on this buy, because whatever move was going to happen has already happened by 2 p.m. All right. If you see market execution in a signal, make sure you check the time that signal came out. If it's not at the same time that you are, do not take that trade, because whatever happened has already happened. The move has already happened. And you will probably find yourself not being on the good side of that trade. All right. So those are just terminologies I wanted to familiarize yourself with. So when you see it in the Telegram, now you can visualize it, what I mean on the chart. So I'm going to remove the stop loss and the take profit because those wasn't the right numbers for this trade. I'm going to show you how to take a sell. This is a demo account, so it's okay. If I'm not analyzing the chart, I'm not doing any strategy. I'm just showing you the practicality of how to take and close, open and close a trade. All right. So Right now you have your window open. My lot size is at a 0.01 and I want to go in for a sell. I come down here to this red button and I click sell. You hear that pop? That's what we call a pop. That lets you know you just activated a trade. I'm in a trade right now. I'm in Euro USD. If I decide I want to go in for a buy, I'm going to come up here to new order. I'm going to leave all the parameters the same. I'm in AUD USD, excuse me guys. That's the chart, the current chart I'm on. I'm in AUD USD. And then I decide I want to go in for a buy. I have two different trades open. This is an indicator that I have that lets me know it's a pip counter. And it lets me know what trade I'm in and where I'm at with it. So right now, Euro USD, I'm up 1 pip. AUD USD, I'm down 2 pips, okay? So let's say now I'm like, you know what? I want to get out of this trade. I don't want to do this trade anymore. I decided that I'm done. Notice this perforated line. That's where my trades are. You can right click on it and see here it says close, or I can modify. But right now we're going to focus on close. I decided I'm done. I made my profit, or I want to, close the trade because it's not going in my favor, whatever the reason. I simply click close. If you've never activated one-click trading, this particular disclaimer is going to pop up, and it's going to pop up one time if you select I accept. This will help you get a shortcut of taking the trade faster, but I'm showing you the longer way so that you can see all the terminology, okay? So I'm going to select OK. I'm going to right-click on the line, and I'm going to select close. One of my trades just closed. All right. When I right-click on my screen, here you see one-click trading. The keyboard shortcut is Alt-T. I selected, this is the shortcut I was telling you about. But it doesn't have the stop loss and it doesn't have the take profit. But because I activated the one-click trading disclaimer, I can now do this. And if I want to go into a buy, I will come here. My lot size is still right here. This is my lot size, the volume, the lot size, that's the same thing. I click buy. If I want to pop it 2 or 3 times, I can. This is how many trades I'm actively in right now. The letters on this particular indicator is in blue. That lets me know I'm in a buy. Euros USD is in a goldish color. That lets me know I'm in a sell. All right. Notice the perforated line is right here. If you right click it, you can either drag it up or down for a take profit or stop loss, but we want to just close the trade. How do you close a trade without right clicking? Well, now you got to come up here and activate your terminal. That's next to the gold star thingy I was talking about earlier. All right. Right next to it, it kind of looks like a window with a panel on the side. It's a blue and white icon. Click that, and down here you will now see a window open up. And here tells you my trades. You can see how much I'm lost or in profit. And there's a little X next to the profit number. If I just click that X, it closes it out. I've just closed all of my trades. So the 2 ways to take a trade as a review. You come up here to new order. This is the long way. Making sure you're in the right symbol. Making sure you have the right volume or lot size. If you decide to enter your stop loss and take profit, you enter it there or there. Making sure you are in market execution, meaning you're going to take the trade with the market conditions being what they are now. And you're either going to take a sell trade or a buy trade. If it's a sell trade, you're going to click this button 1 time and you are in the trade. If you want to close it, you come up here. If your terminal is not active on your chart, you click this icon here. You'll notice that it opened down there, and you can click this X to the right of your profit number amount, and that closes the trade. Okay. The shortcut I showed you is Alt on your keyboard, ALTI. No, ALT, or whichever one it is. It will bring up your one-click trading. If you want to take a sell, you click on that side. If you want to take a buy, you click on that side. That's how you activate a trade, guys. Whether it's a sell trade or a buy trade. Make sure you're activating the right one. When you're done with the trade and you want to close it, again, you come down here to the terminal, click the X. And those popping sounds will let you know you've done something. Got a question? Do you have to do a buy before you do a sell? No. So Annie, how it works, depending on market and what market is doing. When I say market, I mean the price or the move of whatever is going on whatever chart you're on, whatever currency pair you're looking at. Okay. So if the market is going down, you're probably going to get a signal for a sell. But then there's things called retracements that we have to consider, but all of that will come to you. The main thing I want you to understand, you can take either a sell or a buy. It depends on what the analysis is done by the trader who's sending out the signal. This is not something you're doing on your own. You're getting a signal. We got a signal through Epic. We got a signal through our StopPlayinn signal group. Whatever you got that signal from someone official that says either a sell or is going to say a buy. Whichever one it tells you to do, you're going to follow those instructions and come to your chart and either take the sell if it's a sell trade or a buy. There's no particular order. It's just depending on which way price is going will determine which way the trader is going to tell you to take that trade. All right. The conditions of the market determine if we're going to sell or if we're going to buy, but there's no order of either. And I know sometimes it's difficult because when we think of buying and selling, we think of it like a commodity when we go to a store, right? We're either going to buy the merchandise or we're the selling of the merchandise. Well, as retail traders, which is what we are, we can profit from both a buy trade or a sell trade. Okay, we don't lose money when market is selling. We can get in on a sell when market is selling and make a profit. Okay, and that will become more familiar to you as you continue to educate yourself through the Epic University and through the live trading session. All right. Any other questions so far? Awesome, awesome. You guys, all right, so it's 10:47. We've been up here for an hour and 40-something minutes, which is wonderful. Sometimes these trading sessions can be lengthy. I do try to keep it under 2 hours, but I like being able to answer the questions, and it gets easier as we move forward. And so what will end up happening is with the individualized questions, guys, you will definitely utilize the support email that we put together for you. Please feel free to use it as needed. But we encourage you to go to the training website that the leaders have put together, follow the steps. It's so much easier when we break things down into compartments and into steps. Follow the steps. Do as much of it on your own as you can. Why? Because 2 reasons. The first one is, this is your business. I cannot learn it for you. The initiative has to come from us. We have to take the initiative to do everything we can on our own. Once we get to a point where we're stuck after we've done it, now we need assistance. But this is not an environment for those who want people to do it for them because they're not willing to try. They're not willing to take initiative. We are leaders right now. We're leading and paving the way for others to go and come into a situation that's going to change their lives. We're changing our own lives. So initiative has to be one of those things that we have. That's the second thing that makes a good leader. The first one I told you guys in the beginning of this call, this session, was a good leader knows how to follow instructions. The second thing is a leader takes initiative to do and improve themselves. All right. So definitely utilize that website, guys. You're going to be reading a lot. Prepare yourselves. Get your reading glasses. Prepare yourselves to take notes. All right. Note takers make money because they are following instructions. So follow the instructions of that website. When you get to a point that it's just like, I don't get it, send an email to that support group. We're going to definitely get with you and do our best to go one-on-one with you and break it down to the least common denominator so that it's easier to comprehend and digest and get it all in your system so we can move to the next step. All right. So guys, I'm really, really excited to continue to be here with you all, and I'm looking forward to all of the people that's going to play a role in your success. And I'm so glad each and every one of you took this initiative to be here in this moment, in this space, in this time right now. It is no accident, okay? This right here that's in your hands is life-changing stuff, right? This is the stuff that some of us has prayed for and we don't even know it yet. This is the stuff that's going to turn some tables for some people, okay? This is the stuff that's going to put the people who was always on the sidelines watching people win to being in the game winning, right? You got some amazing people just waiting to teach us. I'm just a student with you guys, but I am willing to help everyone and anyone I can along the way, right? But we are so excited for each and every one of you to get what you got, what you deserve in this lifetime while you're here, okay? So take it seriously, deal with it passionately, because I want to leave you with this before we end this call. Guys, approach this thing, whether you're building your team for the residual income aspect of it, helping other people change their lives, or you're just here to get the education of a phenomenal marketing system that people are getting rich and wealthy from for years and years and years. Whatever your purpose, I want you to approach it with the passion that tomorrow is your last day at your current income making opportunity. Whatever, if it's a job, if you work for someone, if you're self-employed, you have some businesses, I want you to look at this thing like, you know what? Tomorrow's my last day. After tomorrow, I'm not going to get another paycheck from where I'm working at. And this is your opportunity to make the difference up. That's how you got to approach this. Because one day, if we do this right, in the very near future, this potentially could replace that money you're making right now. Okay? So approach it with that same passion, guys. Because that's how good this thing is. And that's why the leaders are working so hard for people like you and I to get to that place that we deserve to be in. Okay? So without further ado and without anything else being said, are there any last minute questions that I can answer that I may not have gone over so far? Please don't feel hesitant in asking. Feel free to unmute yourself or write it in the chat, whichever is more easier for you. All right, all hearts and minds are clear. Great. It was wonderful being here with you guys. Thank you for tarrying with me for these almost 2 hours. I plan on being back on Wednesday at 9 a.m. to go over some basic stuff. And as we move along, the agenda may change. I'm going to do things to help those who are going to be joining us. But we had to have somewhere to start. And so the flyer kind of gives a synopsis of the things that I will do my best to go over. But all in all, you guys have been great. Thank you for the participation. And I'm definitely going to try to put the steps that I typed in a format that I can maybe put in the group once I get the permission from our leaders of how to get this in a readable format so you can have it to resort back to later on, okay? Hopefully you took some good notes. Hopefully I didn't confuse you more than when you started. But guys, I really appreciate you guys being here, and I look forward to being here with you soon. If there is nothing else, guys, I bid you a wonderful day. It's Freedom Friday. Go out and be free to share this opportunity with someone else and just invite them into the same mindset that you're in to change our lives for the better, okay? Much love and success. God bless you guys. I will talk with you soon. Thank you, Annie. You have a wonderful day. Everyone have a wonderful day. Be productive and on your way to being prosperous. All right. Goodbye, guys.